ready to save the world from fire? Saving the world is not a one-man job. It's everybody's. Hello, learners! I am Teacher Ivy, your guide in disaster readiness and risk reduction. Join me, and together, let's venture into the scorching world of fire hazard and your call to action. Get your pen and answer sheet, and let's get going. Fire is considered as one of mankind's greatest discoveries, but it can also be a great source of danger in accidents. Despite many fire safety precautions, the Philippines continues to experience disastrous fires, often marking some of the worst fire incidents in history. Thus, there is a need to be taught on the concept and causes of fire.
Let's get to know our learning objectives. First, identify and define the different causes of fire. Second, understand and determine the difference between man-made and natural disaster causes of fire. And lastly, apply and suggest ways to prevent man-made causes of fire. Before we proceed with our main topic, let's take a look at the given image. You are going to identify one fuel source and one heat source. I will give you 10 seconds to do the activity. Are you ready? Your time starts now. Were you able to identify one fuel source and one heat source? If yes, very good. If no, there's nothing to worry because that is part of learning. Furthermore, this is a warm-up activity. Here are some of the fuel sources and heat sources seen in the picture. For fuel sources, we have two. First, sparks from equipment. Second, electrical faults. Under heat sources, we have their chemicals, structural furniture, and liquids. Now, what do you think will happen if these fuel sources and heat sources collide in the warehouse? Correct! It will produce fire.
It is a common knowledge that fire may start from natural or human-made incident. In this lesson, we shall continue with identifying the causes of fire and determine the difference between natural and human-made cause of fire.
We start with natural causes of fire, such as letter A, lightning. As you can see in the picture, if a lightning strikes a tree, then it causes fire. It can also result to forest fire or wildfire. Volcanic activities. Volcanic activities could also cause fire. During volcanic activity, it spews hot gases, ash, and lava. And when these hot materials get in contact with flammable materials, it might cause a wildfire. Another cause of fire is a human-made. These are products of human errors or machine failures. Examples: machinery sparks when cutting logs in the forest, castaway cigarette butts in dried grasses, and house fires. House fire is a fire incident that is generally caused by human and machine error. House fires are deadly, but how come they occur almost every single month? Here are a few common reasons. 1. Cooking equipment. As you can see in the pictures, pots and pans can be overheated when a person gets distracted while cooking or leaves cooking unattended. 2. Heaters. Portable heaters can cause fire when it is placed near objects that can easily burn, like curtains and laundry clothes. 3. Smoking. As you can see in the picture, a cigarette that is not put out properly can cause fire as the cigarette butts can continuously burn in a few hours. It can also immediately cause fire when get in contact with flammable materials. 4. Candles. not actually a hazard, but when left unattended, it can easily burst into flames and cause fire. Number 5. Curious children. Kids can sometimes cause fire out of curiosity, so they wanted to see what would happen if they set fire to an object. Number 6. Faulty wiring. Homes with insufficient wiring can cause fires from electrical hazard. Signs that you can observe if you have faulty wirings are: lights dim if you use another appliance. For an appliance to work, you have to disconnect another, and fuse blow or trip the circuit breaker frequently.
Now that you learned something from our topic or discussion, I am very positive that you know and can identify the causes of fire. It is time to test if you know the difference between a man-made and natural disaster causes fire. So, let us do the activities.
Identify whether the cause of fire in the scenario is natural or human caused. Write N for natural and H for human caused. Number 1. Burning tree because it is struck by lightning. Number 2. Dried grass burned due to cigarette butt. Number 3. Leakage of LPG that might lead to explosion. Number 4. Charging of phones on top of the bed. Number 5. Forest fire due to absence of rain during El Niño phenomenon. Number 6. Unattended grilling of chicken. Number 7. Overheated car engine. Number 8. Farmland burned due to pyroclastic flow of volcanic rocks. Number 9. Burning candles left on top of the bookshelves. Number 10. Children playing with a lighter that they found on top of the coffee table. Let's see if you answered the 10 items correctly. For number 1, N. Number 2, H. Number 3, H. Number 4, H. Number 5, N. Number 6, H. Number 7, H. Number 8, N. Number 9, H. And number 10, H.
Have you read or can you remember the 1996 ozone disco fire? Do you have any idea what happened here? For us to know, I am going to read the news about ozone disco. If you want, you can read with me.
Remember the 1996 ozone disco fire? What was supposed to be a fun night for most students and some professionals who went to ozone disco in Quezon City 21 years ago turned out to be the greatest tragedy of their lives. It was on Monday night of March 18, 1996, when most students were celebrating the end of their classes, that Ozone Disco Club offered a 50% discount promo for guests. But for Junie Malari, a dancer and a regular customer of the disco back then, it was supposed to be a normal party with his cousin and dance group. It was indeed an unusual night as the disco club was jam-packed. There were more than 300 people there, when the room could only accommodate about 100. He was on a ledge just in front of the DJ's booth, dancing along with his friends, unaware of the tragedy that was about to happen. Shortly before midnight, there was a spark at the booth. Then a fire broke and spread through the ceiling. While some people thought it was part of the disco's special effects, Malari already knew something was wrong. Someone shouted, "There was fire!" Then there was a commotion. He jumped and rushed towards the door, which was already full of people trying to get out of the room. "The fire engulfed the whole room really fast," he said. And as people tried pushing their way through the door, the harder it was to get out because the door could only be opened inwards. Nakikipagsiksikan ako hanggang sa hindi ko na kaya, huminto na kami kasi hindi na. Trapped na kami, he said. I pushed myself through the thick crowd until I couldn't anymore. We stopped because we were already trapped. Critiquing this article is not a very difficult task for you since you've been doing this in your subjects, creative nonfiction, reading and writing, and 21st century. I believe that you are ready to answer the following questions. Number 1. The incident is evidently a fire caused by human. Is that a human error or an error in the machine or facility? Explain your answer in 2 to 3 sentences. Number 2. Can this kind of incident be prevented? How? Number 3. If you belong to the group of victims that were able to survive, what do you think are the reasons why they were able to escape from the fire incident? Number 4. What are the lessons you learned after reading the news clip that can be helpful for you if in case you meet an accident similar to the Ozone Disco tragedy? You have 15 minutes to answer the questions. Pause this video. Play it after 15 minutes. I will be the one to check your answers in this activity.
Our next activity will require you to take a trip around your house. I will give you 5 minutes to study the structure of your house with the help of the following questions.
1. Do you think your house is fire resistant or not? Explain your answer in 2 to 3 sentences. Number 2. What are the things you would add to improve fire safety in your house? Number 3. What are the things that you need to reduce or remove to make it free from fire hazard? Number 4. If there is a part of your house that needs restructuring, what would it be? Explain your answer. Class, bring with you your answer sheet as you tour around your house. You have 15 minutes to do this. Pause this video, play it after 15 minutes. Again, I will be the one to check your answers in this activity. Do not forget to write your answers on your answer sheet and submit it on Monday.
Congratulations for finishing this learning activity. You just had an amazing learning experience. You will surely have the same, if not more amazing experience in the succeeding topics.
Always remember that natural fires generally start by lightning, with a very small percentage started by spontaneous combustion of dry fuel such as sawdust and leaves. On the other hand, human-caused fires can be due to any number of reasons. Some classification includes smoking, recreation, equipment, and miscellaneous.